As I got into the country and I walked into KL airport, I was immediately taken for a drugs check.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So here today I have Ben.
Hey guys.
From Our Swell Life. So Ben is my friend, not my YouTube friend, he's my actual friend.
Oh, I'm so privileged.
We actually convinced him to start YouTube.
Literally, yeah, so, it was because of you guys.
Snatching that credit. Okay, so to get into something more serious, there are so many things that I'm passionate about.
Yes.
And some of it I try to talk about on my channel and I try to live by that.
You're so inspiring.
Oh, shut
You're like
up.
Oprah. Yes, Miss Oprah.
So one of them is the beauty in diversity, meaning that wherever you find love, inspiration, it doesn't matter your race, your color, anything. Ben is someone who lives by that as well.
Totally.
I met you and I was like, he is definitely gonna be my friend.
Although when you first met me, do you remember, you thought I was somebody.
Can we just not talk about that here? Thank you. Ben's story is really inspiring, and the reason why I brought you here to talk about that is because I've had a similar experience where I'm originally Nigerian. Yes. And I left home to come to university in England. Although I didn't go through any negative experience per se, but it was like a life-changing experience, and it was growth because I was away from home.
Yes.
And you, on the other hand, are from England, and yes, you journeyed to Malaysia to go to university. So do you want to tell us about that? What was your inspiration and what was your experience?
Okay, so when I was younger, I knew that I wanted to get out of London and I wanted to go and see the world. But when I said to my parents I wanted to study in America, they were just like, well, who's gonna pay for that? Because it's not gonna be us. So I went about trying to find scholarships to fund my education, and through meeting like the right people and having incredible conversations, I got offered a spot at a university in Malaysia to study neuroscience with a full scholarship and all expenses paid.
Wow.
Yes. So
you know, the reason why that's inspiring and the reason why I wanted you to talk about that is because I do get a lot of messages from, you know, young girls that watch me and they want to go to university. Oh my gosh, but the biggest problem is the funding.
Yes.
Like who's going to fund it? But it's good to know that there's going to be, like, there is scholarship available.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to remember is there's always an opportunity for something like that. If you're the right person and you show the right set of skills, then people will want you.
And who's the right person?
Like, you just need to be hungry. Like, you know when people always say like you need to be passionate, it's like there's passion and then there's like a next level where if you don't do that thing, like you will not continue. Like you just need it in your life. And for me, that was university.
Okay.
Like I wanted to meet people, I wanted to start things, I just wanted to like to improve myself. Okay. So without that opportunity to go to university, I wouldn't be who I am now.
You know, the reason why I find that statement very interesting is because nowadays I do have a lot of friends who are YouTubers as well, and some of them put out content highlighting the fact that it's not important to go to university.
What?
No, honestly, so that's a grey area for me. I of course, like if I was to weigh it, I would support going to university more than not, because I went to university and I know the benefit. Do you really need to be in the class to be educated?
I don't think so. I think it's more, like I said, it's down to what you're passionate about. Like some of my friends went straight into business. They decided I don't need someone to tell me how to run a business. I'm just going to run a business.
And what, are they successful?
Yes.
University is not for everybody then?
No, not at all. But for me, I needed that experience. Like I needed to grow as a person, and I needed those 3-4 years to get myself together before I could like attack the world. I
think it depends on the path that you want to take eventually. Because I have a friend as well who has not gone to college, but she's very passionate about filming, about, you know, being in the entertainment industry. She's doing that already by being on YouTube. So she's thinking, why would I go to university, pay 9 grand a year for 3 years to come out to get a job in the industry that I'm already fortunate to be in from YouTube?
That is true. I will say you never know what opportunities university will open for you. You don't know who you're going to meet. And I think that's the biggest thing from uni, is that not only do you have the network of teachers and like staff, but your fellow students,
the connection that you get eventually.
yeah, because the people that are going to class with you have the same passions. You don't know where they're going to be in the industry. Like, one of my friends is now working for one of the guys that was in our class.
So are you saying that going to university, one of the major benefits is then making connections? Because that's what social media is about now. You can make connections without having to pay $9,000 a year.
You can. That's the thing. It's like it's difficult to argue for university when it is expensive. But the fact is, you can never do worse by going to university. It will only like boost you up. It's like an acceleration.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure I could have been where I am now having not gone to university, but goodness, it would have taken me a while. Like, it would have...
Actually, I mean, I agree. For all intents and purposes, I'm pro-university. If you're going to talk about entertainment and business, you can argue, do I need to go to university? But if you want to go into sciences, if you want to be a doctor,
you can get that degree.
You have to go to college. Like, there's just no two ways about it. You have to go to university.
Literally, I want my doctor educated, so that's it.
I had the experience of living home. I connected with a lot of Nigerians that I met at university. There was the Caribbean African Society, so I felt like I was in a community. What was your experience in terms of actual university experience and in terms of the social diversity?
Okay, so first thing, my scholarship was there to establish a university. So I was working as kind of like a global communications and PR contact that was there to like drive the university's name forward. Okay. So I had a blog, I had like a vlog at the time, which wasn't on YouTube.
Really?
Like,
what year was this?
This was like 2010.
Okay.
Until 2014. So they gave me the scholarship to go to a different country every single weekend and tell British students I had to travel. Like, it was literally part of my scholarship was Ben has to travel to a different country every single weekend. So yeah.
To recruit more people?
Not to recruit, just to tell like British students about what it's like to be in Malaysia. So my experience was very different, and I guess I saw that side of the world like a lot more than most people that go over there to study would have.
Okay.
So I came back with like, I probably went with about 10 close friends. I came back with probably about 30,000. I'm just saying.
That's why you're so popular. Can I get an autograph?
But this is like, it was, the opportunity for me wasn't about like being surrounded by black people. Like, I know I like black people. I'm black. Like, I've got black friends already in London. I didn't go for that. I went because I wanted to learn Chinese. I wanted to meet people from different cultures. I wanted to study. I wanted to be in the heat. No shade to London, but I couldn't deal anymore. Trust me, literally, like, I was not about that life. So yeah, I just wanted to be in the heat. I wanted to have beaches, and I just wanted to feel more chilled. Yeah. And it gave me all of that. Okay. It was the maddest 3 years I'll probably have in the entirety of my life. To the point that now I feel like I'm chasing that same feeling that I had for those 3 years. Oh wow. Which is interesting.
So you would advise anyone to go abroad to study?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it changes you. So you probably know from traveling to England from Nigeria that when you leave for university, you pack up all your stuff. I had like 30 kilograms that I could take with me, and that was it. So my life was in one suitcase. And even just doing that, I realized like, I want to live my life like this. Like, I want to be able to like travel to different places and not take too much baggage with me. Studying abroad opened my eyes to what I wanted in life. Okay. And just that ability to just go somewhere completely different for however many years and just learn.
And you don't regret it?
How could I possibly regret it? You know what I mean? Look at what it's led to. Like, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have then progressed to meet you. Yeah. I wouldn't have been over there for X amount of years, started the things that I did. Like, it's, I have no idea what.
By the way, Ben, fun fact, Ben was a presenter on MTV.
Yes!
So, in terms of your social experience, as a foreigner,
yes,
in a foreign country.
Very foreign, very, very foreign.
What was your experience like?
Here's where it gets juicy, because there were a lot of positives, but there were so many negatives. Yeah. But they grew me as a person. The
reason why I'm asking this question is because recently when we were in New York and we had a meet and greet, and I had a deep conversation with a few of the girls that were there, and some of them came from other countries, and they were describing their experiences as a black person going to college in America, and it wasn't.
Oh girl.
It wasn't pleasant. I can't personally relate to it because from the beginning, I don't know whether it was because I was just fortunate and I just didn't meet people who were that horrible.
Yes.
Or because I decided to be within a group of people that had the same social and cultural background as myself.
Yes, so true. That is so true.
I don't know. What was your experience like?
When I first arrived in Malaysia, as I got into the country and I walked into KL airport, I was immediately taken for a drugs check. I was separated from everyone else and they took me into this little room, and I was explaining to them, I was just like, I'm with those guys, like I'm with the rest of those white people that are literally like, we all came together. They took me.
It's not even funny.
They took me from the group, put me in this little room, and I was just sat there, and they were all speaking in like Malay, which is the language in Malaysia, and no one was really understanding like what I was saying, and they just allowed me to just be there, go through a full body search, like everything, went through all of my clothes, all the things I packed up to like bring to Malaysia. They opened up all of the packets of food, everything. So that was my first experience. So when it started happening on a weekly basis, that's when I realized something is up, to the point that I started recording my journeys into Malaysia.
No.
Just literally, just so I could see. And I'll be walking through, I'll be like, it is at this moment I'm gonna get stopped by the police. And then that's when someone will put their hand on my shoulder and take me into the room. And I was like, see? So it's just like, it's one of those things. It's just, for whatever reason, they just haven't really come to accept that black people, or I think not even that, those that look like Africans that may have done like bad things in Malaysia, we're not all bad. Okay. And they don't realize that. Yeah. So they kind of blanket everyone black with like this bad perception.
Yeah.
And I was fighting against that for 3 years.
Okay,
so
that's
even trying to get a taxi, like taxis wouldn't stop. I would have to stand behind my white friends or Asian friends whilst they got a taxi because the taxi driver didn't want to take me. It's very weird.
Oh my goodness.
In restaurants, they would never speak to me to order the food, they would always speak to my friends. So a lot of waitresses like wouldn't make eye contact with me, and I was like, what is going on? In stores, so I would always be watched. Like someone would always follow me around the store.
No. While you did your shopping?
While I did my shopping. This is even in fancy stores in KL. Like this isn't like some like ghetto shop. Like these are fancy stores that they would literally send a security guard to walk around with me. But that grew me as a person.
Okay.
Because with all of these things, you need to realize like you need to change perceptions. This is an opportunity that God or whoever has given you to change these people's perceptions of who black people are, who you are as like a black man or a black woman. Like it's on you to do that.
And how do you do that?
Smiles. Like that's my biggest thing. Like
I will.
You have to kill him with kindness. You have to, because negativity doesn't work.
It doesn't.
I couldn't stand there and just be like, "Excuse me, security guard. Like, can you just back off?"
Yeah,
because then it would have given them something.
Yeah, but then it kind of fills that stereotype.
Yeah.
The whole violent and very aggressive.
That's it. So you just need to be nice and sweet and just smile through the pain. And honestly, it got so much better just doing that.
But then how does it stop? Because if you don't protest at some point, they just keep taking the piss.
And it may be that it doesn't change for you, but for the next person it may. And that's honestly my thing. It's just I've never been a person to kind of fight it. I've always just wanted to overcome it, and it may not be me that benefits from that, but I know for a fact that if I smile sweetly when I enter a shop and say hello, thank you, like it's great to be here, oh security guard, oh how are you doing today, cool, yeah I'm just doing some shopping, like if you are nice and go down that path of sweetness and happiness and whatever, who knows.
I mean, the reason why I thought it was interesting to talk about this is because I'm here in London for the YouTube Summit for Social Change, and we did have a lot of inspiring people who talked. So all of them actually touched on racial diversity and their experiences, especially being in America. And then you hear all of the shootings and the killings of black people in America, and I just thought, it will be really unfair, even though I don't go through these things, it's unfair to not use this platform to talk about it.
Agreed.
I understand the need to be nice, but do you think you would ever confront anyone?
Oh, I have done.
Oh.
This is it. I've learned to be nice as a result of responding badly to it. I learned very quickly that kindness was the best way.
Okay.
Because I used to be quite fiery. I know you couldn't possibly see like how this could be very sassy and quite shady at times. But yeah, when I used to get it, I would just fight back. And I was just so proud to be a black man, especially a black British man, and some people just didn't like that. And they would tell me things I didn't like and put me in a box and restrict me, and I would fight back. And it only got me so far. And it's hard because people then do tar you with that brush of you're just aggressive.
So I mean, if there's anything that you guys can take away from this session, number one is kill him with kindness.
Literally.
Because you can't really group a whole race together. You can't really categorize an entire race. And the same way that we're trying to avoid being placed in the box of black people are aggressive or are criminals or are violent, you also do not want to place white people in a box of they're all racist. Because
so true.
They're not. There are a lot of open-minded people from a different racial background.
So true.
And you just don't know where you would find love. You don't know where you would find opportunity. You can't really close your mind to an entire race. And that's not to say that you won't feel hurt by what you're experiencing, especially most of the viewers I know that live in America and constantly experience things like this. The second important message is the college.
Yes. Do what you need to do.
Yeah, do what you need to do.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you're passionate about university, go to university. Like, you know whether it's for you or not.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, in your heart of hearts, you know if you want to spend 3 years studying something, meeting people, going out, doing all those things.
Yeah.
It's not for some people, and that's cool. As long as you know what you're doing outside of that and you're on a different path.
Yeah, do your research. When you come out of high school or A-levels, do your research. Know what path you want to go down, and you can find out if the path that you've chosen requires college or not.
Exactly.
Or you can take a gap year, do something that you feel like you're passionate about, and then decide, do I see myself doing this for the rest of my life? This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed the chit chat with Ben, and he's very inspiring.
Oh, you
not
too.
Really. I think that when I come across people in real life that I find really inspiring, I'm gonna invite them over to this channel to have a chat with you guys, and you can draw from their inspiration. Just soak it.
Queen.
Soak it. Well, you best believe I'm gonna have this pretty boy here sometime in the future again. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave Ben's YouTube channel in the description box.
Yes.
So make sure to check him out and subscribe. He's pretty hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, shut up. Bye.
Oh, na, na. Bum, 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 boy.